The table lamp flickered as Precious scribbled the final note on her presentation. The room was silent, except for the rustle of papers and the occasional sigh that escaped her tired lips. Her laptop screen glowed in the dark room, displaying the 10th slide of a proposal that had consumed the last 2 weeks of her life. It was meant to be a team effort, her and Jennifer's, her friend and roommate. But Jennifer had long abandoned the workload, claiming her charm would get her through after all. What she has to do to win is to look beautiful. Now, Precious sat alone, her back aching and eyes stinging. She leaned back and closed her eyes for a moment, letting her mind drift. She pictured her old mother back home, selling vegetables at the roadside stall. She thought of her younger siblings in school, their tuition unpaid. This promotion wasn't just a job upgrade, it was a lifeline. If she got it, everything could change. At least have enough to help her mother and take care of her siblings. She opened her eyes and smiled faintly, wiping a tear that had sneaked down her cheek. Her phone buzzed, a message from Jennifer from her room. "Don't forget to print. Good night, babe. Can't wait for tomorrow." Precious scoffed. Typical. No mention of the actual work. She gathered the documents, arranged them neatly into a blue file folder, and placed them beside her bag. The clock on the wall blinked 3:47 a.m. The meeting was at 8 a.m. sharp. She didn't even have time for a full rest. Dragging herself to the edge of the bed, she lay down without changing her clothes. Her mind raced with nerves and excitement. If everything went well, today would mark a new beginning. "I just need a little luck," she whispered into the silence, eyes fluttering shut. And with that thought, she drifted into a heavy sleep. Early in the morning, a loud knock banged against the bedroom door. "Precious, wake up! We're going to be late!" Jennifer's voice pierced through the silence. Precious groaned, her body protesting as she forced her eyes open. The sunlight sliced through the curtains. Her throat felt dry, and her head throbbed from the barely 2 hours of sleep. "I said get up!" Jennifer barged in, already dressed in a sleek, tight-fitting red blazer and black pencil skirt. Her makeup was flawless, and her long braids swung dramatically as she moved. "Girl, you can't look like a hot mess on a day like this." Precious blinked at the clock. 6:52 a.m. "God," she mumbled, shooting up. "Why didn't my alarm go off?" Jennifer rolled her eyes. "Don't blame the alarm. You were dead asleep. Come on, I've been ready since 6:30. Dragging herself to the bathroom, Precious quickly washed up, brushed her teeth, and tied her hair in a simple bun. Her eyes were still heavy, but there was no time for second-guessing. Back in the room, she slipped into a navy blue suit and low heels, grabbing the carefully prepared file. Jennifer watched her from the mirror, adjusting her gold earrings. "You're not seriously going without makeup, are you?" "Jen, I'm tired. This is about the work, not a fashion show." Jennifer laughed. "Sweetheart, this is corporate Nigeria. Sean works faster than hard work. Besides, the CEO would be there. What better way to get his attention if not beauty?" At 7:32 a.m., they jumped into Jennifer's car. The engine roared to life as she sped onto the road. "I swear, if we miss this presentation because of you..." "We won't," Precious replied, clutching the folder. "Just drive." But tension thickened the air between them like fog. The promotion hung in the balance, and time was already slipping through their fingers. The car sliced through the morning traffic, weaving between buses and motorcycles. Jennifer tapped her fingers impatiently on the steering wheel, while occasionally glancing at her lip gloss in the rearview mirror. "We might still make it by 800 if traffic behaves," she uttered. Precious nodded silently, eyes glued to the folder on her lap. She was mentally rehearsing her part of the presentation when something outside caught her attention. A few meters ahead, an elderly woman stood beside a parked car with its hazard lights blinking. She was hunched, clearly in distress, holding a jack and looking helplessly at a flat tire. Precious leaned forward. "Jen, slow down. Look." Jennifer squinted and groaned. "Oh, God, not today." "She looks stranded. We should help," Precious said, already reaching for the door handle. Jennifer stepped harder on the pedal. "Are you mad? We're already late. What do you want to do? Go change her tire? Just pull over, please, Precious insisted, her voice low but firm. We can't just leave her there. Jennifer slammed the brakes and swerved to the side of the road, sighing dramatically. Fine. You've got 5 minutes, Precious. That's it. Because I won't miss this promotion because of you. Precious opened the door and stepped out. Jennifer shouted behind her, You're too soft for this world. One day it'll ruin you. Precious didn't respond. She hurried toward the woman, who looked up with tired, grateful eyes. Good morning, Ma, Precious said gently. Are you okay? Oh, my dear, the woman replied, voice trembling. My tire burst, and I don't know how to fix it. I was on my way to see my son. Precious smiled reassuringly. Don't worry, I'll help you. As she knelt beside the wheel, dirt already staining her dress, she had no idea her life was about to change forever. Precious crouched beside the damaged tire, hands trembling as she examined the bolts. The morning sun beat down steadily, glinting off the dusty surface of the woman's aging car. She stood silently beside her, wringing her hands and watching Precious with a mixture of hope and shame. My name is Elena, the old woman said softly. I was trying to visit my son this morning. He works in a company not too far from here. Precious glanced up with a faint smile. I'm heading to one too. Big day for me. You don't say, Elena replied. Then why are you here, child? I couldn't help but notice your friend shouting at you over there. Precious hesitated. Because I couldn't leave you here. My mother raised me to never turn away from someone in need, no matter how inconvenient it feels. A car door slammed behind them. Jennifer stomped toward the open driver's window, eyes blazing. Time's up, Precious, she yelled. You want to save the world? Go ahead, but don't come crying when you lose that promotion or your job. Jen, please, just go. I will get a cab and make it on time. I hope, Precious said firmly, rising to her feet. Jennifer scoffed. Unbelievable. You'll regret this. She jumped back into the car and sped off, tires screeching. Silence returned. Elena shook her head slowly. You gave up something important for someone like me. Precious knelt again, loosening the bolts. It's not about what I gave up. It's about doing what's right. Elena studied her with glistening eyes. You're a rare kind of soul, my dear. They worked together. Elena passed tools. Precious did the lifting. As the new tire clicked into place, Precious wiped sweat from her brow, breathing hard but smiling. You've got strength and heart, Elena whispered. Qualities no promotion letter can give you. Precious didn't reply, but something in her chest felt light, like she'd already won something bigger than a title. Precious tightened the last bolt and stood, wiping her dusty hands away. Her back ached, her knees were sore, and her once neat clothes were now a little wrinkled, but manageable. She was happy that the tire was fixed. Elena's eyes sparkled as she looked at her. Thank you, my child. I don't know what I would have done without you. Precious gave a tired smile. It's okay, Ma. I'm just glad I could help. The old woman reached into her handbag and pulled out a small envelope. Here, please. Just take this. You've earned it. Precious stepped back gently. No, Ma. I didn't help you for money. I couldn't take that from you. Elena frowned. But you're late, aren't you? Surely this can ease something. Precious looked at her wristwatch. 9:17 a.m. Her heart sank. Yes, I am. But I made a choice, thank you, Ma. But I have to go. Elena studied her for a moment, then smiled warmly. At least let me give you a ride. Precious hesitated, then nodded. Okay, thank you. Inside the car, the air was cooler, calmer. As they drove, the city buzzed past. Busy roads, honking horns, people rushing like time was always against them. You remind me of myself when I was your age, Elena said suddenly. Always trying to do right, even when it hurt. Precious turned to her. Was it worth it? Elena chuckled. It didn't always pay off immediately, but in the end, it shaped the kind of person I became. You see, some rewards don't wear name tags or sit behind office desks. Precious sat quietly, her heart heavy yet full. Maybe this was more than just a delay. But maybe, who knows? As they turned into the company street and into the estate, Elena said, "Wait, do you work here?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am. I wish I have the time to chat with you, but I really need to go, and thank you so much for the ride," she said quickly. Elena gave her an encouraging smile from the driver's seat. "Okay, my dear." Precious nodded and ran off, as Mrs. Elena wonders. Her heels slapped against the tiled floor as she raced through the corridor. Her heart pounded louder with every step. Sweat trickled down her back. Her dress clung to her skin, dusty and wrinkled. Her mind screamed, "Please, let me not be too late." She reached the boardroom door, hesitated for half a second, then pushed it open. All eyes turned. There, at the center of the room, stood Jennifer, smiling confidently as she clicked through the slides. Their slides. Precious slides. The CEO, Mr. Edward, sat quietly at the head of the long table. Beside him, the CFO frowned as he glanced at the door. "What time do you call this, Miss Precious?" the CFO barked. 9:30? Precious stepped forward, out of breath. "Sir, I'm sorry. Save it," he snapped. "Jennifer was here before 8, looking sharp and ready. She told us you weren't serious. I can see she was right." "That's not true," Precious said, her voice shaking. You think this company runs on pity stories and latecomers? You look like you rolled out of bed," he continued, eyeing her dusty clothes. "We expect better." Precious opened her mouth again, but he raised a hand. "Out! We don't need distractions." Her throat tightened. Without another word, she turned and walked out, her face burning. Her dreams, everything she worked for, felt like they were slipping through her fingers, and she had no one to blame but herself. Precious walked down the hallway with her head low, with nothing left. Her eyes stung, but she forced the tears back. Crying in the middle of the office would only add more shame. She had tried to do the right thing, and it cost her everything. "Precious?" She froze. The voice was warm and familiar. Slowly she turned around. Standing by the reception desk, looking graceful as ever, was Elena, the old woman from the road. But now, she was no longer just a stranded stranger. She looked at home here. "Ma?" Precious blinked. What are you doing here?" Elena chuckled gently. "I told you, my son works in a company, and this is the company." "Your son?" Precious asked, wiping her face quickly and confused. Elena nodded. "Yes, my dear, and he's someone you might know since you walk here." Before Precious could ask another question, Elena took her by the hand and said, "Come, let's go together." Still confused, Precious followed. Back at the boardroom, a junior staff had just stepped out, leaving the door slightly open. Inside, Jennifer was still speaking, her voice full of confidence. The CFO sat back, arms crossed. Mr. Edward rubbed his chin in thought. Then, Mrs. Elena pushed the door open fully and walked in with grace. "Good morning, everyone," she said with a smile. Mr. Edward stood up, eyes lighting up. "Mum, what are you doing here?" Gasps filled the room. Jennifer's face drained of colour as she remembered vividly that face. Precious stood at the door, stunned and shocked. She didn't see that coming. "Yes, son. I had a little trouble this morning," Elena said warmly. "And this young lady right here helped me when no one else would." The entire room turned toward Precious, silent and waiting. All eyes were now on Elena, and on Precious, who still stood near the doorway like she couldn't believe any of this was real. Jennifer had frozen in place. Her fingers gripped the edge of the boardroom table, her face pale. Mr. Edward stepped forward and embraced his mother tightly. "Mum, you should have called me." What happened? He asked, his voice full of concern. Elena smiled warmly. I wanted to handle it myself, son. But I didn't want to bother you and the meeting you have today. This morning, I was stuck on the highway. My tire burst and I was stranded. Dozens of cars passed me by. Even when I waved, no one stopped. She paused, letting her words settle. That young lady, Precious, she was the only one who stopped. She was late for work, clearly stressed, but she got down and helped me. She didn't ask for a thing. She even refused money. Whispers floated through the room. Mrs. Elena's eyes shifted. What hurts me most is that I recognized one of your employees. I waved, and she looked me in the eye, then drove off. And she was with Precious too. Jennifer shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Elena continued. She even insulted Precious so much, too, but Precious knelt on the ground in her clean clothes and fixed my tire with shaky hands. Mr. Edward looked shocked. He turned slowly toward Jennifer, whose face was now stiff, avoiding his gaze. I told you she was lazy, Jennifer mumbled. But Elena cut in sharply. No, dear. Today, I saw what real character looks like despite the odds, and it wasn't you. The room fell into another round of silence. Precious looked down, unsure what to say. Then Mr. Edward turned to her, his expression unreadable. Mr. Edward took a slow, deep breath before turning fully to face Precious. Miss Precious, he said, voice firm yet respectful, I owe you a sincere apology. I judged you unfairly and publicly. That was wrong of me. Precious blinked, stunned. The boardroom was dead silent, all eyes on them. The CFO, Mr. Daniel, cleared his throat awkwardly. I also acted without knowing the full story, he added, stepping forward. I let appearances guide me, and I judged you too harshly, instead of seeing the obvious facts. I apologize as well. Precious nodded slowly, still speechless. She had imagined 100 ways this day could go, but never this. Just as the room began to soften, Jennifer abruptly stood up. Wait, this is all being blown out of proportion, she said, forcing a shaky smile. I didn't know it was the CEO's mother, if I had known. You mean, Elena interrupted sharply. If I had value in your eyes, then maybe you would have stopped. Jennifer flinched. Don't twist things, Mr. Edward added. This isn't about who she is, it's about who you are. A young man at the end of the table raised his hand. Sir, with all due respect, I saw Jennifer shredding some documents last week related to Precious's project. I didn't speak up then, but maybe I should have. Jennifer's face went pale. You can't prove that, but the damage was done. Mr. Edwards' expression hardened. Security, please escort Jennifer out. She's terminated, effective immediately. Jennifer burst into angry words, but the guards were already at the door. She was gone in seconds. Silence settled again. Then someone clapped. Then another. And another. Soon, the entire room was filled with applause as Precious stood there, tears in her eyes, not from pain this time, but from unexpected joy. For once, her honesty had spoken louder than anything else. As the clapping slowly faded, Mr. Edward stepped forward, a genuine smile spreading across his face. Precious, he said, your character today showed more than just professionalism. It showed true leadership. We've seen how committed you are, even when no one is watching, and for that reason, he paused, glancing around the room. We would be honored to offer you the position of Chief Marketing Officer, effective immediately, with an increase in your salary times 5. A few board members gasped, but all Precious could do was stand there, mouth slightly open, eyes wide in disbelief. Wait, she whispered. Mr. Edward chuckled. You heard me. We need people like you in leadership, people with heart. Before she could even respond, Mrs. Elena walked over and wrapped her arms around Precious in a warm motherly hug. Be happy, dear. You earned it without even knowing, she said softly. In this world, kindness isn't weakness, it's strength in disguise. Tears welled up in Precious's eyes again, but this time they flowed freely. It felt surreal. Just that morning, she had struggled to afford a taxi, even her own best friend breathing heavily on her neck. She even skipped breakfast and thought her job was gone. Now, she was being promoted to CMO. After the meeting, she stepped outside, the fresh air hitting her face like a wave of relief. Her hands trembled as she pulled out her phone and called the one person she wanted to share the moment with, her mother. "Mama," she said, voice cracking, "you won't believe this. I got promoted. I'm the CMO now." On the other end, her mother screamed with joy, laughter mixed with tears. "You deserve it, my child," she shouted. Precious looked up at the sky, heart full. "I promise, Mama," she whispered. "No matter how high I go, I'll always stay true to my heart." And that is how an act of kindness changed her life. Don't ever you allow anyone to stop you from doing good. Dear viewers, what do you think about this story? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and share it with friends. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Bye.